Good morning, sir. A new day, a new guest. Today I have Derek with us, who is an experienced head of technology with a demonstrated history of working in information services industry. He is skilled in negotiation, IT industry, regulatory requirements, and management and technology solutions, which is something that's very important and is one of the top skills required by a lot of companies these days. Let's welcome Derek on 10 Minutes of Hiring Wisdom, where he will tell us about how it's like to work in the technology sector, what he has learned along the way, and what we can learn from his learnings. Hi, Derek. How are you doing today?
I'm doing very well, thanks. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for joining us, Derek. So would love to hear about where you work, what your position is within the company, and what your day-to-day routine is like.
Excellent, thank you. My name is Derek Ferguson, as you flagged up earlier. I'm a global head of architecture for the Fitch Group. Fitch Group comprises Fitch Ratings, Fitch Solutions, Fitch Learning. Fitch Ratings is one of the big three financial ratings organizations, so that's probably where most folks would have heard about us. As global head of architecture, I am responsible for the designs of all of our software systems that we use within the firm, the way that those systems talk to each other, the way that they process data, the way that they store data to some extent, the way that they expose data, all that sort of stuff. Day to day, typically, we work with the software engineering group and the infrastructure group to look at any new systems that are being built or any systems that are in the process of being built, to check their designs and make sure that what the folks who are going to be doing the build work plan on doing is actually going to match the standards that we've set for those, the principles by which we like to build things, so that we get a maximum of integration between those systems and so that everything's done secure and reliable and performant and all of the things that you would want in a modern system.
Okay.
And that's both sort of advisory, like before the fact, before any build work is started, and then also as the build is progressing, we like to do check-ins to make sure that things are still being built according to blueprint.
Wow. So that's a lot of responsibility. And I'd love to hear, because you mentioned that you work with the software engineering department and everything, there's a scarcity of software engineers these days because a lot of tech companies are growing, they're growing fast, and that requires a lot of skilled labor, specifically when it comes to software, front end, back end, full stack, and skills like that. So I'd love to hear regarding how you attract the best talent, because the project that you currently work on, how you're responsible for such different departments within your organization, must require a lot of good candidates. So how do you attract the best candidates towards your company in order for them to produce excellent products like yours?
I think that we do the same thing as every other company that's out there, but one of the areas where we have innovated recently that I think is helping a lot, we try to be more engaged in the technology community with blogs and open source contributions, because what we really want to do is we want to attract that technologist who has an inherent interest in technology and is out there contributing to open source or reading technology blogs. We want to, there's this old adage, go where the fish are, I think is what it is. You want to go and be in the places, and this would be good advice for job seekers also in the opposite direction. We try to be the places where all the best technologists are, so that it becomes natural to them that when they see a great technology article written, they look at the byline and they say, where does that person work that they're doing interesting things? Oh, they're with the Fitch Group. Let me go and see what opportunities are available there. That's probably the number one thing that we do to attract good talent.
Okay, I love that. But I think there's two sides of the coin here. I think with social media and everything, there's an abundance of resources that exist. But then again, there's a con side as well, which includes what to choose from, where to choose from. So what kind of resources, what kind of websites should job seekers go out? Because there's so many resources out there, to make sure that they choose the best resources for themselves in order for them to come across such resources which can help them find jobs.
I would suggest LinkedIn is a huge resource. That's where we publish most of our technology blogs. And there's a couple different ways that job seekers can be using LinkedIn. The most obvious would be to go on there and look for job postings and all that sort of stuff. But the other thing is, as you start to zero in on a potential employer, you can see who in your network is connected into that organization. It's a great way to get a little bit of intelligence on the part of the job seeker about what that organization is like, and really make sure that there's a match. And I think it works in the opposite direction too, right? To see, all right, what has this person been doing that might be of interest technologically? That's probably the number one resource I would flag up.
Yeah, okay, thank you so much. My next question for you, Derek, would be how did the pandemic change the way your company operates? What did you face a lot of challenges? Was your company already equipped to deal with the remote changes? Would love to see because it varies from company to company that I've spoken with. So I'd love to hear your experience when it comes to pandemic and how your company operated.
It's an excellent question. So, at the time that the pandemic first hit, I was head of technology for Fitch Solutions, which is one of those three component organizations I mentioned before under Fitch Group. And we had a pretty strong culture of remote work flexibility. So, when it hit for us, we looked at our productivity numbers. We used some software that actually is able to process code and sort of look and figure out overall productivity. It's much more sophisticated than counting lines of code, the quality and all that sort of stuff. And what we found was our productivity actually spiked when the pandemic happened. I think because everything that was good in the remote stuff that we had done sort of on an ad hoc basis before, it really sort of came to fruition, and it allowed us to sort of focus. And we probably did more of the things that had made us successful in the past. So yeah, it was actually a success story for us. And I think Waters Technology even has an article. If folks go and look Waters Technology Fitch Solutions, you'll probably be able to find that article that was actually published about, it actually helped our productivity because we already had that remote acumen in place.
Okay, I don't know about anyone else, but I will definitely go and check it out because it's very interesting. Because your company was definitely a success story where you guys evaluated numbers first, and then saw how the productivity increased. So it's definitely amazing that your company was definitely equipped before the pandemic even took place. So it's great to see that companies like you are still prospering and are making a difference till this day. My last question for you, Derek, would be: is your company hiring? What kind of positions are open? So if people are seeking for jobs, they know where to and what to apply for.
We're definitely hiring in both our technology and data organizations. Um, not to sound like a broken record, but if you go on LinkedIn and you look up the Fitch Technology on LinkedIn, we actually have a showcase page. You can find lots of links to different technology jobs that are available. Folks are welcome to reach out to me directly too. I'm on LinkedIn, so you know where to find me. And yeah, it's the stuff we're doing is extremely cutting edge. I can speak primarily for my own space. We have a technology initiative we're pushing forward called Metals, which is microservices, event-driven data and service mesh, APIs, low code, and shared services. So if that sounds like the sort of thing you're interested in, definitely please do reach out to us.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing about all your wonderful company, the roles that are open, and what you've learned along the way, and how your company was equipped for the pandemic, Derek. It was an absolute pleasure learning from you. And I wish you and your company the future success, and I hope it continues to grow and make a difference, especially when it comes to being more productive, especially in the remote environment. Thank you so much, Derek.
Perfect. Thank you so much for the opportunity to talk to you today. Have a good day.
Of course, you too. Bye.